The New York Giants.
Yeah, this is a big one. A lot of mixed emotions here with it.
When I look at Shadur, dog stats, he elevated the program like right off the bat.
For the Falcons. Jackson Patterson wrapped up by Abdul Carter. No gain, and let's go to Danny Ryan.
Here, if this guy's the closest to Micah Parsons, then we're going to see.
Throwing on the run, and it's going in with a bunch of crazed dogs.
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Bam! Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football 50 weeks of the year. So, if you're new to the pod, welcome aboard. We're here every Monday at 7:30, and we are talking Giants football nonstop. Draft is over. They just crushed it. We're going to get into UDFAs. We're going to do some house cleaning. We're going to thank about a whole slew of people for hanging out with us on Thursday and Friday. And, of course, if you're hanging out with me, you already know this.
It's good to be the king.
Bang. That's me. Let's talk Giants football. Let's talk, well, we're going to talk Giants football. Who better to talk it with than my right-hand man? You know him as Joker.
Miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
What's up?
What's going on, Craig? How we doing? I noticed that. I like it. Sharp. It's sharp, man. The powder blue is a nice touch. Looks good with a hat.
Yep. Let's get this out of the way now for all you new people. What's up, fam? Joe is in the house. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joey D.
Yeah, haven't seen Joe in a while. Good to see him. Bang. Guys, just so you know, I am more than willing to take all the credit for the dart stuff, but I'm not gonna. But I will tell you that, and Sean will tell you, look, I don't know if he's going to translate or not. But we've been watching dart in my family since he transferred from USC. I bought this for my son actually 2 years ago, and he didn't even have an NIL deal yet, Sean. So I had to buy it from one of those crazy Asian countries where it takes like nine months to get it, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, look, I believe in the guy, but I don't know if his game's going to translate. We're going to get into that in a minute, but. Yeah. Super fun, dude. Super fun Thursday. Super fun on Friday.
Yes.
And wow, right? Total wow. Like, what have I been saying as this whole offseason? Just go for it, Joe. Just freaking go for it. Get the players we need. Go best player available. Go get football players, right? Right, Sean? Go get guys that love football.
Yeah.
And we got guys that love football.
Yeah, we do. We got dogs. We got a lot of dogs out of this draft. Which I've been saying too. You've been talking about get guys that love football. I said we need dogs, and we got some dogs. We got a lot of dogs. So
all right, we're gonna get
quick. I gotta give a shout out to Cole because he sent me the link for this shirt. So I got it. A little new Joker shirt going on here. So
nice.
Again, gotta give a shout out to Cole. Thanks for sending this to me. Love it, man. It's a great shirt. This might be the every week wearing this shirt now, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Wash it though. Don't wear it every week without washing it.
Of course.
But no, Cold is the OG, no doubt. Just like I'm the OG with dart. We runs in the family.
Right.
All right. So, a couple things. Thursday, I had about 20 of you guys on. You guys are crazy hanging out with us Thursday. Had a great time. You had another 20 something on Friday. Good time. We're going to put all you guys' names in a hat. I have a Jason Sehorn poster to give away. I have a Lawrence Taylor bobblehead to give away. And we're going to just pull one name from Thursday, one name from Friday, and give it away.
Yep.
We're going to, look who decided to show up.
Right. It's the millennial.
It's the millennial. Let's bring him in and see what he's got to say. Because listen, if you didn't know, Spartan Mike was kind enough to drive over to Green Bay and hang out. So he's probably got some good stories too. So I think we're going to have some content from him shortly. I got to probably edit some stuff up, but let's bring in Spartan Mike.
Gentle boys, how we doing?
What's up?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, backfilling the backup duty thing was complicated. I scrambled to make it work, and you're right, man. We got Jackson Dart as a quarterback. Let's go.
All right.
Well, let me just say this, guys. You both got to be pretty happy right now because all three of our quarterbacks, well, four. Let's just start with the top three, right? There's a way better quarterback room than last year. Literally, everybody is better than everybody from last year.
Yes, easily.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders. Head and shoulders.
Without a doubt. So my question to you, Spartan, is give us the lowdown because I've got some. You know what?
Yeah.
Let me get through housekeeping. Let me get through the housekeeping. Couple things. All right. Housekeeping is on nygiantsrush.com. We have all the draft spotlights are up. I might be missing. I'm missing one. I think I'm missing the 7th round pick, the cornerback Black. I think I'm missing him. Working on that to get that done. So the other draft profiles are up on nygiantsrush.com. Check that out for one. 2, housekeeping wise for the Giants outside of all this great draft news. We do know that the Packers signed Isaiah Simmons today to a 1-year deal. So he is no longer a Giant. He is now a Green Bay Packer. And pretty exciting, the Giants have been extremely busy with UDFAs. So I'm gonna read you a quick list because we're gonna spend most of the time on the players they drafted. But I got a list of guys here. Any reason, guys, you want me to stop, or Spartan, you want me to talk about someone? Sean, you want me to stop and talk about someone, or you got commentary? Just jump in, okay? Yeah. There's a lot. The New York Giants have been busy. Okay. I'm going to start at the top. These are in no specific order, by the way, on who's better than who or who I like better. It's just a list, all right? Wide receiver Jordan Bly out of North Carolina. He is the son of the Jets assistant coach. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep. Former NFL, well, Dre Bly, former really good cornerback. So that's
exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. Oh, we lost Spartan. He's no longer
still here.
No video.
Right. No video. All right. No video. Just Spartan's round circle. Wide receiver Bo Collins from Notre Dame. He played 3 years at Clemson, 1 year at Notre Dame. He did score that TD in the Sugar Bowl. For you bowl game guys, you'll recognize the name Bo Collins. Cornerback RJ Delancey from Wisconsin. He actually played with Alexander at Toledo for 3 years. So he's going to be, if he makes the team, he'll definitely have a relationship there with Alexander. Cornerback Makari Page from Michigan. He was their defensive captain this past year in 2025. So you know that cat can play. Tight end Jermaine Terry from Oregon. He also played at Cal. Jameson Williams. He's one of the only offensive linemen that they signed, which was super interesting. From Youngstown State, he was a 2-year captain. Defensive end Trace Ford, 1-year starter at defensive end for Oklahoma. Wide receiver Dalen Cambry from Louisiana, special teams player. Wide receiver Daquan Felton is someone Sean and I talked about before the show started. He actually got a contract. He actually got some cash and a nice payday. He's from Virginia Tech, 6'5", 216, 42 starts, 2,000, almost 2,100 yards, 19 touchdowns. Now, that sounds amazing, right? Why didn't that cat get drafted? He played 6 years of college football. He played four years at North Dakota State, 2 years at Virginia Tech. That's probably the reason why.
Good program. Dakota State.
What's that?
Dakota State. So he was teammates with Kubis at some point.
Yep. And again, the guy's a big dude, 6'5", 216. So he's like basically he's like a tight end, kind of like a Jimmy Graham style, guy, right? And then Ja'Kai Douglas, Florida State. He played 5 seasons there as wide receiver. Interesting cat, though. I mean, 1,200 yards, almost 1,300 yards receiving. He broke the Florida State receiving record, and he was 8th in the ACC in receiving. So, again, guy that can ball. Maybe he's a special teams guy. Maybe he's a kick returner, punt returner. I don't know, but he definitely has some skill. Another wide receiver is which one we'll probably be talking a little bit more about is Antoine Juice Wells. He came from Ole Miss. He had 6 touchdowns, 553 yards in 2025, but he was a transfer from South Carolina.
Yeah.
So he only played 1 year with Dart. And in his first year, again, 6 touchdowns, 553 yards, not too bad. Coming in.
It's a nice touch getting him so Dart's familiar with somebody because they'll be getting work together more than likely.
100%. If Juice makes the team, you'll see a lot of those guys, getting a lot of second and third team reps, and we're rooting for him. Again, he was a transfer, so he only played 1 year with Dart. So right there, just so you guys, if you're keeping track, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm not done yet. 6 undrafted free agent wide receivers so far. Okay, now on to the next page. We start off with a safety, Tommy McCormick from Idaho. 7 interceptions over 3 years, not bad, and the defensive captain.
4.53 40, by the way. 4.53 40.
Fast, right?
Yeah, another fast Caucasian. Woo!
Yes. He's got. I actually thought it was funny because they said his nickname was Turnover Tommy, but I was kind of like, all right, look, 7 interceptions over 3 years is not specifically a turnover machine. It's it's 2 a year. Let's not get crazy, right? Cornerback Ronald Delaney played at Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Toledo. 3 schools. He ranked 6th in the MAC for pass breakups with 10, which I thought was good. So he's got some ball skill there. D lineman Ricky Correa, if I'm pronouncing that one right, because that one's a little bit unique. From Cal, played 46 games. 6'4", 340, 105 tackles. He received a rookie invite. So he's some of these guys get different deals. He got an invite to camp.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That was Chapman last year too, wasn't he? He was a camp invite. So
I do think you are correct there.
Yeah.
All right. Cornerback TJ Moore from Mercer. It's a very small D1 school. He also got a rookie camp invite. All Southern Conference in 2022. Not really sure what happened to him in 23 and 24. Played 59 games, but he had 11 interceptions. Here's the thing. The cat had 186 tackles and 32 pass breakups. So he can play. I just don't know if he can play at the next level because he went to Mercer. So he probably didn't see a whole lot of 4-4, 4-3 wide receivers. But still,
it's funny though, Craig. After Quinion Mitchell, I'm not doubting anybody based on the school they went to at some of those positions anymore. Yep. It's funny how that works. Like originally, I would have just written them off, but like in this case, it's like, well, let's see what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, because you never know what a guy's life is like, right? Can't afford to go. Maybe he's got to stay home and take care of a family. Who knows what his situation is? But the dude's got 32 pass breakups and 186 tackles. So he evidently can play ball. Wide receiver Christian. I'm going to pronounce. Adrenal from Rutgers. You guys are probably familiar with this name because he. Again, I know you guys are both removed. You're in Michigan. You're in Florida. But one, he played at Don Bosco, which is powerhouse high school here in Jersey. He lived in Caldwell. It's a powerhouse town for football players. He was the Rutgers 2024 captain. He had 58 receptions for 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he's a special.
His last name was. He's from Caldwell Soprano. Did you say it was Soprano? Okay, I said Soprano.
Yep, Christian Drenel. He's a special teams ace. So he's the kind of guy that would be like the next Hertzlig, Blackburn. He'd be like the next. who do we just have? Carter Coughlin, kind of, well, actually, I shouldn't say it because those were all linebackers. But yeah, a Tyree, right? He's a special teams ace, returner, gunner. Yeah, a gunner. All right, last three. Nate McCullen, North Carolina and Georgia, had 100. Again, a guy played at some big schools, had 143 receptions for 1,500 yards. They say he's a little bit of a gadget guy and a third down back. But 1,500 yards in any college is a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Last two is Rashawn Baker, went to Elon, and Islam Mulenvane as a linebacker. That's what I had. And then as I was compiling that list for you guys, Sean told me somebody just got signed a little bit ago. Who was that, Sean?
Yeah, O'Donnell Fortune out of South Carolina. He was the Shrine Bowl MVP. So we got somebody off South Carolina's defense. I wanted somebody off South Carolina, not him, but at least we got somebody off that defense because they were vicious. They played with bad intentions.
So, guys, I really had a good time on Thursday with our people. Sean, I'm pretty sure you had a good time, right, on Friday?
Oh, yeah. The end of the show, I had a couple guys on to close it out because that's when the Giants were finally picking. So, yeah, we had a blast. Absolute blast. All the guests we had on all night were awesome. They nailed it. Great takes. Yeah, it was a fun time. We had some good people on for sure. For sure. So
yeah, shout out to Lolo because he came on sporting like a red hat and a red and a red t-shirt, and we had a 15-minute conversation about the red jerseys. It was very impromptu, but yeah, a lot of fun there. Lowe's always says bring back the red jerseys. But all good, dude. Spartan, you get in the car, you drive to Green Bay for Thursday. Give us from the minute you pulled in the parking lot till when you left, what was your experience like?
Yeah, look, I mean, the NFL, if you want a valuable experience, you want to take your son to something, I think Giants fans ought to look at going to the NFL draft. It's not like it used to be when it was at Radio City. So the NFL, first of all, it's free. So you can't really beat that. It's free. You're not going to be able to get up in the draft pit area where license plate guy was and I was, last year. It's not, you can't really get those. But you can just take your kids, and it's completely open to the public. And there's tons of fun experiences going on, tons of good food. I will say the city of Green Bay did a great job with the draft. Last year in Detroit did a very good job. Green Bay did a great job because they don't have a highway system that most major cities do, yet they did a really excellent job of deflecting the traffic. That was the most impressive thing because they don't have a highway that passes right next to that stadium, yet they found a way to have the parking allocated appropriately. And also shout out to the city of Green Bay because the people up there were just so friendly. I couldn't believe it. So $30, I was able to park like 2 miles away, and a limo would come back and forth, driven by a local, and he would just pick everybody up, drive us to the lot, and keep doing cycles throughout the night.
Nice.
The atmosphere at the draft, we'll say this, Green Bay is really hard to get to for virtually everybody, unless you live in Wisconsin or Chicago or Minneapolis. Outside of those three teams, you really didn't see a great number of representation. So Detroit, you saw a little bit more. Detroit's a little closer to everybody. So the Giants fans I saw there were, sparse, but it was really cool to go out there and see some of the Giants fans that did make the trip. Got a lot of great interviews, interacted with a lot of good Giants fans, and as well as non-Giants fans too. And the one thing that Green Bay did this past year or this, past week that was sweet was they opened up Lambeau Field. The whole draft experience was outside the field, but they're like, yeah, go ahead. If you want to go to the stadium, you can go ahead. And I sat right there, front line, look, and you feel that intense, I don't even want to say hauntedness, but you feel the spirit of that stadium and all the history there. Giants pick 3, no surprise there. Abdul Carter, great dime of a pick. I had to go. I had travels at 6 a.m. the next day out of Chicago. Although I knew, if you saw my tweet beforehand when I was driving up, I didn't think that was going to be the last pick of the night. We get Jackson Dart. That Dable and Shane got their quarterback. And we can go right into that too. But again, thank you to everybody I met out there, everybody that I talked to. It was a really fun experience.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Enjoy the content that's going to come because we have video clips.
Yeah, we're going to smash them all together and we'll get some LPG love in there and all that stuff. So, really good time. We hooked up with a couple guys from NJ.com, Spartan, right?
Yep.
All right, well, guys, let's talk football. Let's talk about the Giants. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Black is a guy who, probably could be a special teams ace guy, right? They're looking for a little bit of DB depth. Sean,
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's he was second this season in pass breakups to Trey Amos, so he's a little underrated. Again, he's a 7th rounder, so I get it, but guy can definitely add depth. He brings some good DB skills there, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Guy's got a good shot, make it, contribute, and be some good depth and maybe develop into something.
Spartan.
Yeah, not really too much further thought. I mean, the one thing that I had top of mind for that pick, and we're getting minuscule. This is round 7. We do need a kicker. Wouldn't have minded if they got the Florida State guy, but I see what they're going with there. Like Sean said, they get a guy that they find there's going to be value in on the playing field, then go ahead and get him. So I really don't have any further analysis on this guy. We never went over him on the draft show.
No, and like I said, sometimes it's a little bit of a diamond in a rough, right? Because the same thing with the tight end. I do all the tight ends, and I was shocked that they took
Fedone, yeah.
No.
Yeah, Fedone, because he's had back-to-back years of knee injuries. But the thing is, he's like a bull in a china shop kind of player. Like, he's tall, he's wiry, but he's not a prima donna. He's tough.
Yeah, there's a clip. I don't know if you guys saw. There's a clip out where he just actually absolutely manhandles Travis Hunter and throws him to the ground like he was nothing. It's great. Love the mentality of this dude. He's tatted up everywhere too. Love it. Little Italian going, Fedone.
Yeah, and evidently, Sean, he tattoos himself. Like he's like a tattoo artist or
You
something.
want insane dudes on this team, and let's say it, the Giants drafted some nutcases.
Yeah, it's great. And every pick outside of Fedone was a top 30 visit, and Fedone got worked out by our tight ends coach at Nebraska's Pro Day. So there is a trend. I love it. I mentioned it last Monday that they love taking the 30 visits. Well, they went 6 out of 7, and the 7th one that they wasn't in the top 30, they worked them out individually at Nebraska's Pro Day. So gotta love what they did, man.
Yeah. And if he can block, you replace him, probably Manhurts with him, right? If he can block, because you need Bellinger if Theo's not going to be ready to go in the beginning of the year, right? He's still coming along slow, but
real quick, Craig. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, a 4-year administration, we actually have 3 drafted tight ends on the roster.
Yep. Yeah, but it's even more funny, Spartan, if we don't throw them the ball. So
I do think we can deploy better use of our tight ends, but you know what? We have 3 better quarterbacks than we did last year. We can now deploy all of our assets and see what we actually have in all of our wide receivers. Me and Sean have been talking about. We've been waiting for this. Like, let's actually see what we have in Wandale finally. Let's see what we have in Theo finally. Let's not get sacked on 2nd and 4 and then do a curl route. Let's actually get some productivity here.
Yes.
Well. Yep. The next draft pick is very unique because he had a lot of chatter this year because he just blew up. Like, he was a nice player, and this year he just blew up. And it wasn't like a one-game wonder or anything like that. Like, this cat has that. I compared him to Pacheco. But because he's white, some guys will say, he's more like All-Star or whatever. Or, some people wanted to say Meggett, but I'm like, no, this dude's brash. You know what I mean? This dude, like maybe even Ahmad Bradshaw, right? Like, this guy is not afraid of contact. He's got some Jacobs in him. He's part of what's going to make this offense chippy, right? Because we haven't had, with Daniel Jones at the helm, we weren't very chippy, right?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I mean, he was a fan favorite by a lot of fans on a lot of teams, right? A lot of guys were like, they like that pound, the ground and pound running back. And let's face it, he compliments Tracy, right? So we're sitting there. The odds of getting him 1 out of 32, because I think a lot of teams liked him. And the fact that we were able to secure him, like, I thought that was just absolutely fantastic. So only concern with him is, 4.65 instead of 4.55, which for reference is Brandon Jacobs' 40 time. But like outside of that, and really that's minuscule. He can still ball out. He's not just like one dimensional either. It's the lightness on the feet. It's everything. And he was very impactful on that Arizona State offense. And we all got a good look at him against Texas, where he did a lot of dominating throughout the game.
And he's a good receiver, and his game speed is much faster than his 40 time. He's one of those guys that 40 time doesn't add up. But I will say this, because Craig, I know you're going to talk about your guy in a couple picks. These next two guys I'm going to put out there that these next Scatterboo and the next guy we're talking about in the third round, both those guys, I said the Giants need to make them their picks. And I did say that Scatterboo was going to go in the fourth round, and he went in the fourth round, and we were able to get him. He's a receiver out of there. He can do special teams as well. Like, he's just got that mentality, that fight, like you said. Like, we needed that. And, man, I couldn't be happy. Listen, short Caucasian running back, sign me up. That's me.
Here's the thing that a lot of people don't even realize. He is exceptional out of the backfield catching the ball. I mean, exceptional. He sits down in the route. He's not – listen, Barkley was a great running back, but he was okay at catching the ball out of the back.
He bobbled it too much, right?
Yeah. So
of course, he never bobbled it since, but that's not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying this cat is very good. He's got a great jump cut that gets him free. He's very for a stocky guy. He's very elusive. He doesn't have quite breakaway speed, but he makes guys miss. If I'm not mistaken, he led the league or second in the league with missed tackles. Like 180 something, 160 something. I'll look up if Zach was here. I'd have Zach look it up, but he excelled at making people miss. Great jump cut, great out of the backfield. So when he gets to the Giants, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you not see him as starting off as a fourth down back, short yardage back, and goal line? Sean, do you not see that?
Probably, yeah. You mean third down back? Yeah. I mean, he's got great vision too. So, and the thing about him, I know he's 5'9", but Boston Scott tore us up for years at that height or shorter. So there's guys that can be successful at that height, and he does. He's got great vision. So that's the thing that not enough people give him credit for is that vision. So I like it, and I do. And listen, I came up, I put it out on Twitter. I'm going to start this trend going with a nickname. It's Mighty Mouse is Tyrone Tracy, and Underdog, DAWG, is Bo Scatterboo. So we got Mighty Mouse and Underdog.
And listen, when they get in, like they did it with Victor Cruz, where it was Cruz, you're gonna hear all boo for Scatterboo. Like people are gonna get into it, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yep. My number one thing that I like about Scatterboo is how he lowers his pads. He is always running with exceptional balance. I mean, there are some – I've only seen him play in 2 or 3 complete games, but I watched that bowl game from front to back. Just the ability to lower his pad level and get underneath guys and then bounce for a guy with a lot of power. He just has an exceptional balance, kind of like Ahmad Bradshaw did. Like, you know how you always thought he was going down?
He doesn't. He stays up, and he uses both speed and force in order to do so, which is pretty incredible. Hey, I will say, because I do have to roll off here, and you guys will get to it and sum it up, but I do want to say the Giants absolutely aced this draft. And Sean, you brought up a good point that you and I talked about. Like, these dudes that we thought, like, when we traded up for Dart, my only concern, because I like the pick, I like the move. My only concern is, like, it does stink losing some mid-round picks because we're probably going to lose out on a lot of guys that we're going to want to get. And those guys that I had top of mind were like the Scatterbos and the Darius Alexanders. And yet, to your point, like Darius Alexander, I thought he can go in the early second. He fell to us in the third. Scatterbo could have easily gone in the third round, fell to us in the fourth. Same thing with Marcus Mbao. It's the same thing, right? So I think it's just great to see the Giants got dudes that we're just like, let's go. And we're not, there's no question marks, right? It's not like Jalen Hyatt, it's like, that guy only does one route, but all right, let's see what happens. I'm very happy with what the Giants did here. So we'll leave it at that. Apologies, I have to leave early, but appreciate it, guys.
All right, Spartan. Thanks, man.
Take care, bye.
And I don't want to dismiss the fact that Marcus Mbo is a guy that I never thought in a million years would be there. Right. I mean, because he was ranked like top 70 players. And so, I mean, like, I'm shocked and I'm super excited. Dude's nasty, right? Great locker room guy. Just everything about Mbo says, like, hey, this cat loves football. Yeah. And if you're ranked that high and somehow you're going to go in the 5th round, I think
like the injury.
I was gonna say it's gotta be like, there was a health thing.
Yeah, it was the injury he had. But what I like is they're going to start him out at tackle, and don't be surprised if he ends up being our swing tackle. I think when you watch the tape on him, he can absolutely play. I know people are already trying to say he should be at guard, but when you watch some of those clips, he's doing some things at tackle that says he could play tackle in the league. I know the arms are a little shorter, but Will Campbell went and did it. So I don't think they're worried about it. They measured him a few times, so we'll see. But I do think he could be a good swing tackle because the way he was combo blocking, coming off and doing things, he's got quickness out there on the edge. So don't be surprised if he ends up being our swing tackle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, like, for me, my personal take is that he's going to go to guard and he's going to play and he's going to force Neal to get better. Like, that's kind of my take. Is I'm not saying that I know anything, and I'm not an O-line guy, but I think that, like, a young cat wants to come in, win a job, going to push Neal and push a couple guys to play harder because for years we've never had any depth, right? Everybody just got gifted a job. Now there's actual competition. What's up, YouTube user gents? We got to get you off of the word YouTube user, and you got to put your name on there.
The only thing I'll say though, Craig, is that they did sign a few guards this offseason.
Yeah.
In free agency, and you have Kubas, so that's why I'm saying I hear you, but I think they're gonna. And Dave already came out and said they're gonna start him at tackle, but maybe they move him down. But I think with Neal there, I think with Kubas there, I think the guys they brought in this offseason, I see him. I see him more being that swing tackle for us, or maybe he pushes even Illuminar to make him better.
Yep. Either way is a great freaking pick.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Great freaking pick. All right.
Talk about my guy next.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely from having Dave here from the Senior Bowl was we chatted about it, in case you guys want to check out Dave from Our Lads. He's an analyst at the Senior Bowl. Mentioned about how good this guy did, and we all started paying attention. If you weren't already paying attention, it's Darius Alexander from Toledo. Just dominated at the Senior Bowl. I mean, the amount of first of all, they said that he just kept coming up. Like he just kept, whether he was jumping the line or volunteering, he took so many reps at the Senior Bowl. If you were watching the Senior Bowl, you were like, who is this dude? And why is he going every other play? This cat wanted to make an impression at the Senior Bowl, and he did.
Yep.
Right? He has got exceptionally fast hands. He's got a nasty streak in him if he needs to be. He is very agile for a big dude. I mean, he actually has some bend to him, but his hands are exceptionally fast. The where he places them, keeping offensive guards and tackles at arm's length and be able to swat, or stab. I mean, yeah, I know you were on him early, Sean.
After the Senior Bowl. After the Senior Bowl, watching him, I was like, John, I thought he was going to go second round. I said he needs to be their second round pick. So the fact that we got him in the third round, man, that's great. Listen, that dude, and he's excited about being a Giant, which is even better. He's happy, and he's got versatility across the line. So, listen, people like to say I'm bullish all the time, but don't be surprised if he gets a lot of reps early on.
Oh no! I'm going to take it a step further. I like this cat for a couple reasons. Yes, he loves football. Yes, he really wants to be a Giant, right? But I think this cat's going to start. Getting him in the third round, he's got to push Colston. I honestly think, I don't even know what side they're going to play him on.
Well, I think he and Colston could start together. Dex, Colston, and Alexander.
Could. Yes, right? It very well could. I have a feeling and this is why I'm so excited about him, was I knew the Giants needed to get a defensive tackle. Yep. It has been since the season ended. It's second round. Please get me a defensive tackle. If you don't get Mason Graham, get Mason Graham's running mate from Michigan.
Yeah.
And then the more that the winter went on, and we talked to Dave from the Senior Bowl, and I think we talked to Datino, and we talked to a bunch of guys all talking about the same thing: deepest class in defensive tackles.
Yep.
And this guy, who to me, getting him in the 3rd round is like a gift.
Yep.
I mean, like literally is a gift because, I mean, this cat is going to be fun to watch and exciting, to have on the team. And I'm telling you, my shot is, I'm taking my shot and saying by mid-season, he's the starter.
Yeah, listen, Friday night on the draft show, he was the guy I kept saying, he's the pick, he's the pick, he's the pick. And he was the pick. And man, I was extremely excited. So yeah, this kid, yeah, man. Yeah, him and Dex are going to wreak havoc. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
All these cats, like you were just talking about, like they all have some kind of weird connection, right? Like we were talking about, like Scatterboo. I don't know how he even did it. Scatterboo like gets drafted, has his party, the next morning wakes up and takes a picture of himself wearing a Strahan jersey.
Yeah,
like he didn't go out and buy a Strahan jersey. Like, I mean, like this kid just got drafted. I doubt he was running out and buying a Strahan jersey. Like somehow to me, there's a connection, right? Right.
Yep.
Guy likes, yeah, all 30. That's right. All top 30 visits, Cole, without a doubt. It's very telling. So you got Scatterboo wearing a Strahan jersey. You just said how Embo wants to be a Giant, right? You got Dart talking about that you can't before all of this.
Yeah.
Before all of this, at the Senior Bowl, Dart said he wanted to work out with Jameis Winston.
Right?
I mean, like, how in the world does that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is before Jameis. I'd have to go back and look at the date, but I'm pretty sure that's before the Senior Bowl. I mean, he got signed after the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like, he's talking, and then, of course, the Eli Manning connection, of course, but just in general, like all these cats seem like they want to play for the Giants, where how many years have the fans been bitching? Nobody wants to come and play here.
Yeah.
When? And now we got guys who are like,
we do. Free agents want to play here. Draft guys are happy to be drafted here. I mean, we transition right into Dart. Like all these guys, they're not writing ahead. Like they're not writing ahead. All these guys we drafted, and I love it. Like sign me up for this.
yeah,
Like give me that. Like your boy is on the cover. He's a hunter out in Utah, holding a prize, that he did. Like, all right, like that's the quarterback that we haven't had that viciousness.
Yep.
Right?
Well, let's. I know. Like, listen, Carter is the prize, but I'm gonna say a couple things about Dart so everybody kind of knows what's up. My kid liked Dart when he transferred from USC, so we've been following. This jersey that you see me wearing is something I bought my kid 2 years ago, when I thought maybe Dart was going to come out early. He wouldn't have been a first-round pick, of course, back then. But there's a couple things. I'm really honest, and Sean, you will back me up on this. Yeah. I've never said, hey, he's going to be, the next Joe Burrow or anything like that. All I said to all you folks is, I'll give you the goods, I'll give you the bads. Yeah. The bads is that Lane Kiffin's offense doesn't allow him to do a whole lot, and Kiffin never cleaned up his footwork. So his footwork in the pocket is not great. Okay. He also was a gunslinger. So he's very accurate. What you fans are going to love about Jackson Dart is, guess what he is? All vertical. He throws, if I'm not mistaken, again, I don't know what the exact number is, led the league in downfield passes. He wants to throw vertical all day. And what happens is, as that gunslinger, he tries to fit the ball in a small window, and he can, but when he's off or he misses, as you saw in the Florida game, he just keeps throwing it because he's like, I'm going to get it. And he hurts himself by doing that. All right. But Kiffin didn't do a whole lot to help the kid. Here's what you all have to remember. Okay. In the 4 years he played college football, he threw for 11,970 yards. You are not a one-read quarterback and throw for almost 12,000 yards. You just don't. You couldn't possibly throw 12,000 yards for a one-look read. Okay? He's got 82 touchdowns. 82 touchdowns in the SSC. And 1,300 yards of that is at USC. 10 touchdowns of that is at USC. It's 10,000 and change, 10,300 yards at Ole Miss and 72 touchdowns at Ole Miss. The cat can throw the ball down the field. You're going to be pissed off when he throws interceptions because they're going to have to work that out of him. They're going to have to work on his footwork, right? But he can get under center. He can run play action. And here's what you're going to love. From this point on, don't let anybody tell you that he's like Zach Wilson because they both grew up in Utah. It's dumb. It's lazy. Okay? Yeah. This dude runs linebackers and DBs over. You can look at there are 6 games where he had 60 yards rushing or more, running dudes over, jumping over dudes. Attitude, right? He got laid out in that Alabama game, and what did he do? He popped right back up, and he was jawing him up in the face. The dude has moxie. I don't know if he's going to be the franchise quarterback, but he's a lot more exciting than Jones. He's extremely tough. They're killing him because he's never slid one time in his high school or college career. Okay, he throws a good ball. Okay, he's tough. Is he going to have to definitely work on progressions? Yep. Is he going to have to work on his footwork? Heck yeah. I've said that. Ask Sean. I've been saying that for a year now. Like, the dude's a little lazy in the pocket, right? Because he hands the ball off. There's no, he doesn't tuck the ball. He doesn't roll out. There's no deception. He's going to learn from Russ. He's a perfect quarterback to learn from. I've also, the only person trying to tell you guys it's Baker Mayfield. That's the comp. Baker Mayfield. I said it 8 months ago. I said it 8 weeks ago. I said it 8 days ago. I said it 8 minutes ago. He's Baker Mayfield. That's the style of play. He may have a bigger ceiling than Baker. I don't know. But, for what it turned out to be, if he was their guy, came out yesterday, Dable said that was their guy since January. Yep. And the Shedeur Sanders things didn't work out because of preparation and preparation only.
Yep. Okay.
He walked in with a crappy attitude and they were trying to overlook it. But when they went to the preparation they asked him to prepare for in the packet and he didn't prepare for it, he sunk his ship. So I can only imagine that he did that for numerous coaches.
Yep. Agreed.
So at that moment in time, Cleveland, the Giants, the Raiders, a bunch of these guys passed them by because of lack of preparation and entitlement or attitude, whatever you want to call it. They didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, here's 3 things I'll say about Dart too. You just brought up, he absolutely is a Daboll guy. Daboll is excited. You saw it when he was drafted. He was excited. You saw at the press conference. He talked about it. So that's what more can you ask for? Daboll's got his guy. That's what we wanted, right? Number 2, and I am not comparing by any stretch of imagination, but to me, he reminds me of the Phil Simms mentality. He's got that fire that Simms had. And I like that a lot. So I think that's a good one there. And the third thing, that the eye black he wears is for Anakin Skywalker.
Cool,
so
right?
That's what the scar there. So, I mean, listen, and then that segues into now our guy, our prize pick is Darth Vader. So we got Anakin and we got Darth Vader on the Giants. What can you ask for? More.
You got it.
What else can you ask for?
Exactly. You got to admit, this is fun.
Yes.
This is
fun.
If
you're excited as a Giants fan after this weekend, then you got issues. Sorry, you got issues.
Yeah, I think it's fun, dude. I mean, I really do. I really think it's fun. And we needed this. I mean, geez, Carter is a man. Like, he walked into the facility and I was like, whoa. I'm like, he just is like, he's not, how like Jackson Dart still looks like a young kid a little bit, right?
Yeah. I know they're the same dude. There's 2 versions. I know they're the same dude, Gold.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
we got the dark side and the light side. Initially. Go ahead.
And whatever it is, man, it's a ton of fun. And look, I don't know if they're going to put Carter's hand in the dirt. I don't know if they're going to play him inside on 3rd down. I don't know if they're going to play him outside, but I can't tell you that they're going to be a top 10 defense, but man, they sure could strive for something like that because like if you had to ask me, again, I know it's pie in the sky. Everything has to work out just right, but the wins. I got it. I'm hoping, Mark, that this defense is going to turn the ball over, stop guys on 3rd down, and get off the field. We haven't been able to get off the field on 3rd down. Carter's going to get you off the field. Healthy Dex is going to get the field. Holland, as the safety, is going to get you off the field. Like, You know, all these guys are going to help us get off the field and get the ball to Russ, which is going to get the ball to Tracy and Malik, and now
Here's what
Scatterboo.
Our offense is going to be better, which is going to keep our defense rested so that later in games they can get off the field, they can do things. Because again, I'll keep saying this, they were leading the league after the first 6 games in sacks for the year.
Yeah.
Now
it was all Dexter, but yeah.
Well, regardless, and that's going down, but guys were still getting after it. And I think I do believe they're going to use Abdul Carter like Michael Parsons. I'm fully committed. They're going to do that. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have him all over the place. They'll have him in the inside because he's got diversity. Remember, he played 2 years at inside linebacker.
Yep.
And he was great. He was really good. And they're going to use him to spy. You think about the quarterbacks in their division, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, what they can do, they can scramble. He can spot them quarterbacks, and he can keep up with them. So
I think too, and Mark brought up this a couple minutes ago. Bowen's definitely going to have to scheme it up a little bit different to keep the right guys on the field, right? Because Tibbs is back, so they had Isaiah Simmons playing like this safety thing, and then playing this linebacker thing. Like if McFadden comes off the field on second down, Parsons, you got me saying it now. Carter would go to the inside and Tibbs would be on the outside. I don't know what they do with Tibbs and Carter, right? I don't know how that's going to unfold, but they got to figure that out because first and second down, it's going to be Okereke and McFadden. I think Colston could wind up being the odd man out. Right.
Don't be surprised if they put Carter next to Okereke. Don't be surprised.
The only reason why I don't think that happens is because Okereke's hurt.
Well,
right?
And I don't even be a Carter and McFadden then.
I don't even know. I mean, we didn't really ask him about how Bobby was doing. I'm assuming he's on the comeback, right? I'm assuming he's on the way back.
He kind of gave an idea like he's on the right track, so we'll see. But again, don't be surprised if one of Bobby was fast in pass coverage, so it really depends. Don't be surprised. And Colston, don't be surprised because again, he can play some edge too. They'll figure it out. There's an interesting thing that I know Giants fans are going to overlook, but I'm going to keep harping on this that Shane said the other day is the defense lacked the versatility in the players to be able to do some of the things they wanted to do. And they brought in – yes, they did. And if you think about it, he's right with the injuries and stuff like that. So now the guys that they brought in all have versatility. Alexander is versatile. He can play anywhere across the D-line. Carter has versatility.
Cole says we're saying his name wrong.
I said Colston. Or Golston, sorry. Yeah, Golston. I keep thinking.
Yeah, I said it with a C too. My bad.
Golston.
So I don't really have a lot of faith. I mean, Golston was a nice player for Dallas, but I'm not like, woo.
Mike had talked about how good this guy is.
He did.
Right? And the only reason he didn't get as much run is because look at who he had in front of him.
Yeah.
Dallas's D-line, right? So he's an up-and-coming guy. Like I'm the one that brought up Elijah Chapman last year. I'm the guy that brought up some other guys.
I don't know if he makes the team this year. It's going to be tough.
Chapman?
Yeah.
I think he'll still make it.
It's going to be because I like him. But to your point, what Bowen said is they didn't have the guys that they wanted to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah, Shane said that. They didn't have the versatility.
So think about what they did. They got bigger and they got, and they got faster. I think there's an issue with going from Dexter, to Chapman because Nacho didn't really bring you a whole lot. And what's his name? McKeithen?
Yeah. No.
Not McKeithen. Davidson.
Yeah.
DJ Davidson. I don't think they really brought you a lot. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's super fun to watch too. But it's going to be a little harder for him. And the biggest question will be is what Bowen does with Tibbs. He really is the anomaly. Like, are you bringing him and Carter from the same side? I mean, I know you have a thought that Tibbs is going to go down into a 4-point. Like, I don't think he's thick enough to do it. Like, he did it in college against subpar talent, and he's got way better length and speed. I don't know if he's thick enough to just battle.
You're going to be in that 5 technique. It's exactly what he did in college, and there's guys, he's quick enough to get outside. So I think it gives him the edge. Whether or not they do it, I don't know, but I do think he can do it. And if you imagine him and Carter coming off the same side.
Yeah, well, I would think, Carter could come from either side, Burns' side or Tibbs.
Well,
Hey,
that's what
Zach, Zach, if you have that new intro that you showed me today, can you upload it so I can play it for the peeps?
Yeah, and hey, just real quick, I'm going to comment with Mark and Cold. No, I'm not Bowen's defender. However, I think he gets much more hate than was deserved, and I'm going to be much more critical this year. He's got guys, he's got talent. It's a whole different thing. So I'm going to be a lot more critical in this year. But again, where rankings were, what things were did, and how the season played out after a certain amount of time, I'm expecting more things. So again, the same thing. I don't like guys that get hate that I don't think get hate. When you had an offense that was 32nd ranked, your defense is going to get tired. When you have injuries, you're not going to be able to do certain things. So you judge it with that. But I'm going to be a lot more critical. I'm putting it out there now. I'm going to be a lot more critical of Bowen this year. But I think that defense was a lot better than people realize. Especially
here's our opening to our draft show. Enjoy.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Ooh, dark and spooky. Like it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. The fact that they moved up in the first round to pull the dart and sticking to their guns that Carter was their guy, just put a lot of faith back into Clueless Joe is now just GM Joe once again. He's earned his GM Joe name back from Clueless Joe.
Here, I'm going to throw this up real quick because Cole brings up a good point, and I know Banks was on the show saying this. When we look at it, I think a lot of it had to do with the injuries. And I do think a lot of it had to do with where they were in the season later on. I think they were content with, and I know I'm not saying tanking because they don't do that, but they were playing a lot of guys that were young. I think they were okay if they got a high draft pick. I'll just say it that way. So some of the adjustments stopped happening later on. He does. I think it's depending on what you're looking for adjustments, right? But again, it was year one, which McFadden said on the show, year one. Remember, year one under Wink was not great either. Year two got better. So I fully expect year two to be better. I expect him to make adjustments. I expect him to do things. I do think he gets a lot of unwarranted hate. And Carl Banks did have said a lot the last couple of weeks that he does think Bowen is competent, which is not a negative term by him. Guys should be competent at their job. So I think he's got the tools now. He'll utilize it. And I do have confidence he can do it. Now, if he doesn't do it, rest assured during the season, I'm going to be all over him because now you have an offense that can stay in the field and do things. Now you have players with no excuse not to be good. But again, where they ranked was a lot better than what people realize, like including our run defense. Our run defense was actually higher ranked than it was under Wink, just to be clear. So it's not defending Bowen. I just want to keep things in perspective and real. So everybody has a realistic expectation of it. But don't get me out of my good mood, Cole. Damn. I was excited and happy. Man. Good Lord.
Listen, what he got, Bowen got, like, if you're Shane Bowen, you feel like this is Christmas because you just walked into Adebo, Holland, Carter, Golston, just you've made 4 positions better than it was before. Offense going 3 now all game didn't help the defense. 100%. We couldn't get a first down. We couldn't move the ball up the field. Russ is going to move the ball up the field.
Yeah.
I got faith in Russ. He doesn't want to go out a bum. Russ is going to he's going to make it happen with Malik. I do think Russ is going to use the tight end before injuries. They were number 1 in sacks and mid in people against. But yeah, let's worry about the D when we had the worst offense in the league. Again, they go hand in hand, right? I mean, the defense does well. They get off the field. They get the offense on the field. The offense gets stronger with Russ. It gets stronger with a second year of Malik, second year of Tracy plus Scatterboo. We just signed, hang on, if I have to count it, one,
Like
two, what did I say it was?
like 6 or 8, somewhere in that range. And don't forget about the free agent signings and wide receivers as well.
7, 8. We signed 8 UDFAs at wide receiver, right?
And I think 3 in free agency we signed, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I mean, there's going to definitely be a emphasis on getting the ball down the field, and is the offense of line going to protect Russ? That's the main thing. Andrew Thomas has got to be healthy, and he's got to stay healthy. If anything, the reason why we suck so bad every year, amongst other reasons, one of the main reasons is Andrew Thomas can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Injuries been our biggest thing across the board. Like, we got to stay healthy across the board, offense and defense. Like, we just got to. Now, granted, I know last year some of those guys probably would have played if the season meant something, but we got to keep guys healthy. So that's the biggest thing.
Tracy's going to have a great second year. Scatterboo is definitely going to give Tracy a little bit of a break. Like I said, I don't know if he's short yardage, goal line. I don't know if they're going to use him in the screen game, and that dude's going to rock. Okay, just so you know, that guy's coming in running the screens. The screens are going to be Scatterboo's thing. He is fantastic. And Tracy is only going to get better. That cat probably wants himself 1,000 yards rushing because he had 1,000 yards all purpose. He's shooting for his first 1,000 yards. Those guys are going to have chips on their shoulder. Runyon got his off-season surgery. He's going to come back healthy. Andrew Thomas comes back. It's going to be a better year. The biggest thing is, who are we throwing to the ball to? Slayton's back. Some of you guys like him. Some of you don't. Maybe he stinks because he didn't have a quarterback. So maybe Slayton's better because Russ is, maybe just a more accurate quarterback or sees him.
Throws a better deep ball. He throws a catchable deep ball.
Maybe. Well, listen, we know it's about seeing the field. Jones couldn't see the field. And then when he did see the field, he didn't pull the trigger.
Right.
So right now we're hoping that Russ is all about, getting the ball down the field and hitting the guys that we have. Maybe it's Wandale. I don't know. But they signed 8 UDFAs from wide receivers, and there's definitely an emphasis on who's going to be wide receiver number 4 and number 5.
Yeah.
There's a huge emphasis on it, right? So this team will be better. This offense should be, let me throw that up on, Cold.
Yep.
Cold. This offense should be better this year. Russ can throw it downfield. The O-line mark is important. If Andrew Thomas is healthy, I don't think he's been healthy for 1 year that he's played.
Yeah. And Craig, I said this last week. I know you weren't here, but the thing that people have to remember about Russ last year is when it got later in the season, Arthur Smith took away his ability to audible and throw the ball downfield.
That's why he's no longer a Steeler.
Right. And I can't fault him for that. Like, he's now in a place. You think Dable's going to take away that ability? You think Dable's going to say, don't throw the ball downfield? So I think it's a good fit here. So when people criticize about how Russ dipped late in the season, well, that wasn't due to Russ. It's because his offensive coordinator was like, no, you can't audible anymore. You got to do this.
Yeah.
And nobody does well under that at all. Sorry.
Yeah, and that is a very accurate statement. I mean, him and the offense coordinator were getting along like 2 peas in a pod, and somewhere it came along that whether he had a bad day, bad game, something went wrong, and they took the audible away from him, whether he was doing it too often or he was audible into plays that didn't make sense at the time, and they kind of squashed it, which left a bad taste. Russ wanted to be here last year. Nobody thought that Russ would be available. Russ is going to be a great mentor for Dart.
He's going to help those receivers too. He's going to help a guy like Hyatt. He's going to help a guy like Malik. He's going to help, a guy like Wandale, not just in throwing, but tips he can. You remember, like, Eli was good at that, right? Eli could give little tips to the receivers to tell them what to do and made them better. Like, we didn't have that in our quarterback before. Our quarterback was not telling our receivers things to make them better. Russ can absolutely do that. So that's the impact of not just throwing the ball, but the advice, the coaching that he can give these receivers as well, not just the quarterback. So
I think you're going to see a different type of offense. I just think you're going to see a different type of offense because Russ is going to want to use the tight end. You're going to see a lot more Theo Johnson. You may see some Bellinger. I think you're going to see screen games. I think you're going to see bubble screens and wheel routes. I just think you're going to see a different type of offense, right? And then I think you got Russ will go downfield, as Cole just alluded to a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say that I think a couple of you or many of you were thinking is, and I'll stick on this, and again, whatever, I'm going to crow that Dart's my guy, and I'm also going to fall on the sword when I'm wrong. I don't think Russ signed here to get benched in game week 4 or 5. Like he would look bad in Denver, and then like he didn't start to the middle of the season in Pittsburgh, and then didn't look good down the stretch. I don't think if Russ is more than serviceable, if he's winning games or he's in games and we're fighting it out, I just don't see him getting benched. I know you want Dart to start because you want to turn the page and the bridge. I just think that regardless of what happens, I think they're going to let Dart sit.
Yeah.
And I think Russ is going to start the year regardless of what happens, unless they went, 1-16.
Both Dart and Dabs have come out and said they have a plan for his development. So they're both on the same page of what that plan is. So he's probably going to sit the entire year, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Not a thing wrong with that. Now, if the Giants aren't winning and it's late in the season, maybe they put him in. But I think you're going to see him in the preseason, late in the games, kind of see what he does. But they're going to take the pressure. My guess is they're going to take the pressure off of him because you know how New York fan base is going to be. And they're going to ease him in, and they're going to let him sit and learn and watch. And I think that's the best thing for him.
Yep. K-Max says, let me throw K-Max up here. This is exactly what we're talking about, right? I'm good with no Dart. Let the 21-year-old learn and develop. 100%.
Yeah.
And Russ is a perfect guy to learn from, and it just right. This is the first time I think I've been this optimistic about what they've done. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like they're taking a lot of shortcuts, and I just, I'm really super happy about where we're going, where the Dart starts, this year, next year. But the defense is going to be the identifier. All right. So they're going to be known as a defensive team. They're going to get after the quarterback. Offenses are going to have to scheme now for Burns and Dexter and Carter. And they're going to have trouble, hopeful that Banks has a rebound season, but they're going to have to realize that, it's not McLeod back there. It's a Debo, right? Or, it's not Pinnock back there. It's Holland.
Right.
So I think it's going to definitely, we have an identity that we are a defensive team.
Newbin year 2 with his college number back. Like, again, little things like that, I think will make a difference. Here's the thing I said on Friday night, Craig, and I don't know if you heard, I think you were there on a little bit.
Yeah, I was giving you some
No, I know. You were giving me crap, which is awesome. I gave it back because listen.
Because Shador Sanders saved 2 programs.
Oh boy, here we go. Because on Friday night, I was able to.
It's good to be the king.
That was me on Friday. Thank you very much. However, what I said is that, and I think this for the whole team and the whole organization, the cloud has been lifted that we had under that 6-year regime. You can see a difference in Dable. You can see a difference in Shane. Like, that's the best thing that could have happened to this organization and people coming in is everybody wants to play for Russ. Everybody loves Jameis Winston, whether he's the backup or, what third stringer. Like, people love that dude, and it's great. Guys love the guys with that dark cloud. I'm not saying how we're going to win or anything, but just the fact that we don't have that dark cloud hanging over us anymore, I think you're going to see a different Daboll too. I think you're going to see year 1 Daboll back when it comes to the fiery and stuff. I think he just was tired of coaching our quarterback, to be honest with you. I think he just gave up on him, to be frank. I think that's why he's like, well, it makes no difference. I can't really, other than, a couple of times when he just couldn't take anymore. But I think, and that's also what I like about Dart and Daboll. They both have that fire. So it's going to be like Parcells and Sims. I do think that's how it's going to be, with that.
Shane said this morning when he was on with Datino that they're going to have to tell him to stop jumping over and trying to run people over. And it brought a smile on my face because I was like, dude is not Zach Wilson. For anyone that says he's like Zach Wilson, they just get blocked because it's just weak and lazy takes. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just stop it already. Like, how do you people say like, don't judge the helmet. Don't judge the state. Just because the guy's from Utah? I mean, give me a break. Yeah. It's crazy, man. All right, listen, Zach, Zach, you have somewhere in your bag of tricks, you have like a wheel that you can spin. So I have a Lawrence Taylor bobblehead and I have a Jason Sehorn poster, and I want to give them away, Zach, but I need to spin it. So if you spin the wheel, whatever number I'm thinking like it comes up on, I'll just pick that number off the grid. So yeah, how does this work now, Zach? Can you show me how this thing spins? Because I want to
show the old guy how this works.
Yeah, show the old guy how this works. I tried trivia and nobody could answer my trivia questions. Let's see. I can he's working on that. If you put numbers on there, Zach, pop it up when you put numbers on it. And then we'll spin it. Because I want to give away, that's too small. I can't read that, Zach.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this again. The offseason is the time to be optimistic. Yes, we know they got to get wins. Yes, we know they got to prove it on the field. But you absolutely have to be excited about who they added in the free agency and the draft. Like it's okay to be excited with players that they added. This is what you want. Like when's the last time we can say we've been excited about players that we've added to this team? Draft players, right? We were excited about Neighbors last year. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when you look the amount of players we added in free agency and draft, when's the last time we could say we've been this excited about players? Now, again, do it on the field, prove it on the field. I get that. But how can you not be excited about the players that we've added?
All right, then let's do this. While Zach's working on my numbers, I'm going to ask you this very vital question that I asked on Thursday, but you were hanging out with Drew.
I was running things with Drew on Thursday night. I was his main guy the whole time.
Well, Drew's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
All right, here we go. I'm going to give it to you, and then we'll ask the people. What number will Carter wear? I'm going with 55, one number off Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor told him to pound sand, which makes sense. I want him to go create his own legacy with his own number. But we remember LeVar Arrington was a Penn State linebacker, came here, he wore 55. He didn't really do much in it, but I thought 55 would be a good number for him. And
then wore 11 at Penn State as well, so it kind of makes sense doing 11 and 55 here. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm asking you, what do you want Sims to cave and let him wear the number?
I don't think Sims will cave. Well, let me say this. I don't think Sims needs to cave. I think Sims would give up the number. And I do think I would like to see Abdul Carter in 11. I think if you're going to unretire, because you think way back, like they unretired 14 to give it to Y.A. Till, right? So I think Sims realized. Yeah, but I think Sims understands the significance of Abdul Carter. Like he wouldn't do it just for anybody. But I think he understands. So yes, I would be okay. And I love Phil Simms. Absolutely love Phil Simms. But I think that's a number you can bring back. And I think for a guy like Carter, makes sense to bring it back for Carter.
That's interesting because maybe just because I'm older than you, like I look at it like this, same as I did. LT and Phil Simms go side by side because they were winning. They were the team that Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor turned this franchise around. Right. Yeah. And it's still fresh. When you unretire, number one, which was 80 years ago, 70 years ago, it's like, okay, but Phil Simms is still here. He's still in the booth. He's still, I think everybody should carve out their own legacy. If the jersey's 80 years old or something, okay, I get it. The only way that I can see doing it is this right here. And this, I got to give Chris, props for it, is to put a patch, just like I'm wearing the SEC patch. They put a patch on it that says PS for Phil Simms, number 11, and he wears the patch on it. So that like it's
did Neighbors do that? Did he wear the patch or no? Didn't he have the Flaherty patch?
I didn't see him. No, I didn't see him wear. Last time I remember a patch was Spider Lockhart.
I have I mentioned this on Friday. I have an out of box thought for the number for Parsons. 70.
For Carter.
Carter. 70.
Well,
Huff.
Yeah. I someone said earlier on the show on Thursday, if the draft show said 77, just to take the ones and just put tops on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's a big man number.
Listen, it's unique. He could go 22. I mean, listen, guys are wearing 0. They're wearing 1. It doesn't matter anymore. You can wear whatever number you want, which I like what the NFL did. But if you want to carve out a legacy and go with something like that, we know. If you've done your history, you know the difference that Sam Huff made for the Giants. So that would not be a bad thing out there. What he ends up going, I don't know. I mean, he may look at 55 because I think he does look up to LeVar. But listen, I respected the fact that he actually asked Taylor for the number, because what Taylor, he could say no. That's the worst he can say, right? Is no. So
Yeah,
I respect it.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not begrudging him. I don't
No,
think
not
you
at all.
ask. I don't think you go there. But it's fine. It's over. It's done.
Cole
So
doesn't
for
like
me-
my idea.
what's that?
See, the guys, like, pay respect to the elders. Pay respect.
Let me see what
Sam
I'm
Huff
reading here.
for it. Sam Huff.
Should be.
Sam Huff for it.
Joe says he should get his own number. Mark B says 11. Penn State. Well, yeah. I mean, all the great linebackers were 11. Let's see. How many numbers do you? Put on 25 on the wheel, because I'm going to spin it twice and then give it away, because I'm going to count that number off the grid. Hell no from Cole. I'm with Cole. That's a horrible number for a linebacker. Which one are we talking about? 70?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huff Ford. He was a linebacker. But
Yeah.
see, I don't. 70's too high. Mark B says the nerve of him. Make maybe an ugly number. LT made 56 iconic. Correct, because he wore 98 in college. So I'm going 55. I think
98.
Alexander.
Somebody in the timeline today said 98. That's not a bad option either. It was Taylor's college number.
Yep.
Armstead's number. That would not be a bad option as well.
Yep. And Tuck wouldn't be bad. 91. That's not a bad move. That was great to watch. I guess, there's a lot of options. There's definitely a lot of options.
Go 0-1-1.
You want to go 3 numbers?
Go 0-1-1.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's gonna be fun. I think Dart's going to wind up wearing 12 because 2 went to Banks. Banks moved off of 3.
Get money.
What's that? Banks
gonna get money. He sold 2 jerseys. Let him sell number 2 to Dart.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what happens there, right? I mean, because I can see Dart wearing 12, but we haven't had a 12, since Scott Bruner.
Yeah, I know.
So I can see that, and I guess because Banks wore number 2 when he was in, I think, high school. I think.
By the way, talk about weird numbers. What did Lorenzen wear when he was here? What number was he when he was here?
Who?
Jared Lorenzen, R.I.P. Mr. Lorenzen. The lefty. What number did he wear? Was he 12?
13, I think.
13? He was 22 in college. That was funny. But yeah, I thought he wore 12 when he was here.
Might have. I'm looking it up. I forget now. I thought it was 13.
Yeah,
yeah, he wore 13.
13. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he wore 22 in college. He wore 13 for the Giants. You know what?
Nothing wrong with wearing weird numbers. We got Brian Burns wearing 0.
Sean, they have a picture of him wearing 12 and 13.
Who? Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew he wore both.
They have him wearing 13, but then there's like a preseason game. They have him wearing 12.
He started with 12 and then he switched to 13 because somebody got cut or something. If I remember.
Yeah, like I actually have.
Listen,
there's photos of him wearing 12 and 13. It looks like maybe he started with 12 and then went to 13. Maybe they cut him and brought him back. That's a good story, though. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. Again, numbers don't matter. Like, you can wear weird numbers. You got Brian Burns wearing 0. You got other guys wearing weird numbers. And if you're as unique as Abdul Carter is, pick a unique number. Wear something different. Wear something weird. Stand out. Go with it.
I bet you Alexander gets 99.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just got that feeling. Oh, all right. I'm going to spin this wheel here. Let's pop this sucker up on here. Let me get my grid going so I get the right folk.
Or maybe he gets 91.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad either. All right. So give me an example. Zach, spin it for me once and show me what it looks like. Do I click it or do you click it? Oh, you click it. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, look at that. Very cool. All right. So here we go, folks. I'm going to spin this wheel twice. I'm going to give away 1 prize for anybody who showed up on Thursday and then 1 on Friday. I got a grid in front of me. I'm just going to count off those numbers. and this is going to randomly pick a number for me. So, all right. So, Sean, pick what I should do first. Should it be the should I show everybody the Seahorn poster?
Yeah, I mean, show what you're giving away.
Let me get the Seahorn poster.
We got two things we're giving away. And Cole, I know numbers matter. That's why I'm saying that the fact of wearing a unique number, Burns wore 0. Did he wear 0 in college? I don't remember.
I also have a Lawrence Taylor bobblehead to give away as well.
Yep.
Well, we got 2 LT bobbleheads to give away.
Look at Zach getting some airtime.
All
All right. So here is the Jason Seahorn poster. If everybody can see that. And then we have a Lawrence Taylor bobblehead. All right, so
Greg, I have one too. Remember?
Oh, we got 2, but I only need to give away. I think I only need to give away 2 prizes right now. Zach's been hanging. But I'll keep the other one for next week. All right, so Sean, what should I give away first? The Seahorn poster or the Lawrence Taylor bobblehead?
I give away Seahorn first. You got to say the GOAT for last, of course.
All right, so spin the wheel, Zach, on 1, 2, 3.
No sound effects too.
Yeah, man, we are high tech.
25.
25. All right, so hang on. Let's see what I got.
Woo! Congratulations, 25. You earned it. Drew.
You're never going to believe it. Number 25.
Who is it?
It's Lolo.
Hey, my guy Lolo. All right.
All right, Lolo, you are the winner of the Jason Seahorn poster, which will be sent out to you. So if you're not listening, we will hit you up on Zach. Hit up Lolo on Twitter. Tell him that he won, and then I'll
right now. Actually,
all right, yeah. Text him out. All right. So now we are giving away a Lawrence Taylor bobblehead for everyone who showed up on Friday. Zach. Spin that wheel. 1, 2, 3. Spin it. Oh, 17. All right. Oh my goodness, it's not possible. What? Number 17 is Stretch.
Yeah. Oh my God. Look at that.
Stretch wins the bobblehead, the Lawrence Taylor bobblehead. So
listen, Stretch ended the show with me on Friday night. Him and Nick were the 2 guys that ended the show and Stretch him and Nick did an awesome job. They were on for the longest time because we were waiting for that pick. Stretch is a good football dude. He knows football. So he did an awesome job on Friday. So well deserved.
Yeah, I thanked everybody today. You guys were great. Thanks for the support. So Lowe wins the Jason Seahorn poster and Stretch wins the Lawrence Taylor bobblehead. So congrats to you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. So overall, Joker Man, what's are you giving this I mean, I don't really like doing draft grades because cats just really haven't played yet. But like from your experience, where's your happy meter? Where are you grade wise? Are you like, hey, this is just as good a draft as last year or better?
I think, listen, it's better than last year, and last year's was good, but I think it's better. Up and down the board because the guys we got, but 2 good drafts in a row. I love it. Yeah, I'm not going to grade it, but let me just say this: I'm excited. I loved every pick that was there. There wasn't one pick I didn't like, including the tight end, including the cornerback in the 7th round. Because again, all guys that were there, all guys that can do things, all guys that are dogs. But the first 4 picks, I mean, how can you not love those first 4 picks? So yeah.
You know what? Here's why I'm excited, because I thought like I couldn't get any more excited getting Carter. I was like, finally, we got something. We got an instant, superstar, right? What have I been saying for the last year? We don't have any superstars. We have all B-level players, right?
Yep.
And I was just really super content. I was like, very cool. I'm like, we're good. Carter's good. But look, dude, like, I mean, look, I hope he pans out. But just for what it is, we finally got a quarterback. Sean, we got a quarterback. We got a young quarterback who played in the SEC. The kid threw for 11,000 yards. Like, we got a quarterback. And we're going to groom him under Russell Wilson. He's going to have such a chance to succeed. We have been bitching and complaining about no quarterback of the future. We got one.
Yes.
And now he's got to pan out and it's got to work. But like, it's a whole lot better than hoping or wishing or stretching. Like, I'm really, really happy.
And they went and got their, regardless if you like the player or not, they went and got their guy. Again, I don't want that to be understated. It's who Dable wanted after Cam Ward. It's who they wanted. They got him. They got who our head coach wanted, and that's what you want. So whether you like the pick or you didn't like the pick, it's who Dable wanted. And we know that Dable he was high on CJ Stroud. He wanted Jaden Daniels last year. Now he wants Jackson Dart. So you can't ask for anything more. Our head coach got the guy he wanted to work with. So I think it's a great draft all the way around.
This is what kills me, though. Mark, I love Marple. Why should I be calm? Like, I want to be excited. I want to be optimistic. Like, why do I have to be calm? Like, why do I have to be on that side of the fence? Like, why can't I be on optimistic, excited side?
Yeah, you can. That's what the offseason's for. Like, you should be. With the draft picks there, like, everybody should be excited. And 95% of Giants Twitter was excited. Like, they all loved the draft. And then when they started come around and think about more things and the quarterback that was picked and to see the things that came out there, like, there was more people came around on that too. Like I said all along, we know who I wanted the pick to be, but I don't hate.
You saved 2 programs,
right? But I also said I didn't hate Jackson Dart. I just said I had a preference. So I like the Dart pick. I like what he had to bring. The fact that he's going to sit for a full year makes a lot of sense. I think it's going to help him. He's only 21, but it wasn't that I hated Jackson Dart. I just thought that I wanted the other guy more. But I'm excited about Dart being here. What he brings and what he can do, absolutely.
Drew must be drinking because his comments are really long now. Not sure if you are happy. In my experience, when people are happy and they know it and they really want to show it, they clap their hands.
Or they stomp their feet. Either one.
Hit your head. I get it, Drew. I get it, Drew. And yeah, I'm happy. And Mark, you don't have to like him, right? But there's no reason not to like him. It was their guy. They got him. But I said he had a good upside. I mean, look, it's my kid's jersey. I can fit in it because my kid's too big to probably fit in it now. But
well, here's the other thing too, is that if he doesn't pan out, you didn't give up much to get him. That was the other thing. They did not give up a lot to get him. That was smart right there. And if he doesn't pan out in 2 years, then you can draft somebody else and you didn't give up a lot, right? So you're not, so it was a smart risk, right? It's the guy they wanted though. That like Craig, like I'm going to keep saying that to everybody that's out there. It's who they wanted outside of who went number 1. Let's be clear. But it's the guy they wanted. So regardless of what any of us think, our head coach wanted this guy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And most people, I'm probably not stretching it for comedic purposes. 24 people today like flipping because now they've looked him up, right? Like, yeah, we root for him because but the thing is, I don't think people watch Ole Miss football. I don't think they watch it. They had no idea that he was tough. They called him Zach Wilson. They had no idea he threw for almost 12,000 yards and 82 touchdowns. Like, they don't know anything about him. It's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and they think Mara picked him because he went to Ole Miss with Eli. Like, those are just lazy, boring takes. There's way more substance going on here. We all know everybody wanted Ward. Everybody wanted him. The coaches wanted him. The fans wanted him. It wasn't going to work out. And then in the long run, Sanders killed himself. Dart took advantage of everything he had to. Dable likes him.
And the other thing Shane said too, Craig, is that he nailed every test they gave him. Everything that they gave him, everything he did. And we know that Dable works the quarterbacks in those interviews harder than anybody else. And he said, and he nailed the entire process. So again, let's look at what they're saying. Let's listen to what they're saying.
Brangier wants to know if there's evidence of this, or are we assuming? We only use what Shane said in the press conference.
And Dayball said it too.
I mean, Shane this morning with the Tino said he's been our guy since January. And Dayball said he's the one that did everything we asked him to do. He was prepared. He was tough. He runs RPO. He throws the ball more vertical than anybody else. Like they gave you the reasons. Like, I'm not really sure. You could easily say they're full of shit, but they're telling you that what we want is a guy to throw downfield, and it was him. A guy that can run RPO, it was him. A guy that was really tough, it was him. It was a guy who passed all the tests. It was him. What's up, Blair?
Plus, Pete Trigger just came out earlier today and said this weekend he found out that Dabbs was the guy. Dabbs wanted Dart back in January. So yeah, it's been confirmed that Dabbs wanted Dart. Again, Ward was the number one choice. Let's be clear about that. But then Dart was the other guy they wanted.
Yeah, and by the way, it won't matter if they give you excuses; they'll be fired. Yeah. Like, they won't be here. Like, everyone's going to tell you. Like, coaches don't get fired and go, "Yeah, I picked the wrong guy," or "I wasn't good at my job," or whatever. Like,
by the way, because somebody just brought up the video, let's just talk real quick. Dabbs with the greeting of Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart was very aggressive, like oddly, weirdly aggressive. Like that kid, like if you wanted to know if Dabbs was happy or not with those two guys, watch that video of how he greeted them. Like, it was weird. Like,
yeah, he was like, playing with his chain. Oh yeah.
Like, and then even Dart, like he was weird. He was like a teenage girl that met like a movie star or some shit. Like,
yeah, and Dart had like a typical Utah family. There was like 9 kids.
Yeah, it was like all there. So yeah, it was. There was no doubt that Dabbs was excited about those two guys as the pick. Like, it was kind of like when we saw in Hard Knocks how excited he was over Malik Neighbors. Like, Abdul Carter and Dart is like the same excitement.
What does this mean? This is the kind of weird stuff. Yes, but us fans suffer because they wasted our time making mistakes that the informative fan would have made better choices. Yes.
Who is the better choices?
And what are we suffering from? Like, what are we talking about? But making mistakes that the informative fan would listen. At the end of the day, we can do whatever we want. They're always going to be more informed than us. They've got health records. They got tape. They've got college coaches in their pocket. They know these guys if they sleep. I mean, Grangier, did you know that that these players wear whoops? Like, the Whoop monitors their sleep and their oxygen intake and their recovery. And it tells you how many hours of recovery they have. They have data on players that no informative fan would ever have. They always know more than we do.
Well, the funny thing is, all over Twitter today, people are talking about this draft seemed like a Giants fan mock draft. So I think fans again, I'll keep saying this, it's the first time that 95% of Twitter has agreed about something when it comes to the Giants. There's only a small percentage that don't, but all over Twitter was all about how this looks like a Giants mock draft. And what the fans want. So, and
by the way, why do we have to be negative? We've been negative for 11 of 13 years.
We don't.
Realistically, right now, because I'm going to take the words right out of your mouth, Sean.
Yeah,
you could. I said, that, and I've been saying it, and I want everyone else to tell everybody else. I've been saying to you that the comp is Baker Mayfield, and you had a really nice take and said you like him to the toughness of Phil Simms, right?
Yep.
And we have Abdul Carter, who's like, it's going to be potentially in the vein of Carl Banks, Lawrence Taylor, Justin Tuck, JPP, right? He's going to fill right in that void. So think about it. Like, you're talking about a draft where you might have a franchise quarterback and an all-time, all-pro, sack specialist. Like you don't normally get 2 of those in one draft. Like, this is a good opportunity to be excited about the direction the team is going in.
Yes. This is the time to be excited and optimistic. when the season comes, we'll see what they do. We'll all it there, but this absolutely is time to be excited. You should be excited when you draft good guys. Like every other organization gets excited with their draft, unless it's a bad draft. Like, why the Giants have to be different? Why can we not be excited about draft?
We don't know what they're going to turn out to be.
Right, we don't. But again, it's 95% are excited as Giants fans. So we're going to focus on that because, listen, when's the last time I've been in a good mood on this show and didn't have to, like, argue or anything? Like, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. These guys.
Yeah. And I'll remind you this.
Derek Alexander. Like, come on, man.
Granzier, I want you to remember this so you just keep things in perspective. The New York Giants won a Super Bowl at 9-7 and 10-6. Okay, like yes, if they have been out of the playoff picture by Halloween 2002 and 2016. 11 of 13 years they're out. They've been out since Halloween. Okay, if we're playing meaningful football. Like, you're 5-5, you're, whatever it is, you're 5-7 and you're whatever it is, you get into the playoffs at 9-7 and 10-6, anything can happen.
Right.
We won 2 Super Bowls. And Mark B, there's no reason for you not to be excited about Dart. I'm pretty sure you haven't watched him play, but if you have watched him play, the kid threw for 12,000 yards and 82 touchdowns. Daniel Jones hasn't done that ever, not at Duke or the Giants. The guy runs linebackers over.
And again, we don't need him to play right away. So he's got a whole year to develop.
And he's going to sit behind Russ. Get excited, man. He is a tough kid who they're literally saying the best thing about Dart is he just wants to throw the ball vertical downfield. Right. And he does it really well. He's got crazy stats, making people miss. More vertical passes than anyone else. He threw for 11,970 yards in his college career and 82 touchdowns. That's more than any of these cats. Yeah. So you can be excited. It's okay. It's okay. You didn't like them before, but you can like them now. Same thing with these other guys.
Yeah, Mark said he's going to root for him. He gets it. Listen. And what worries me about Dart, was his gunslinger mentality where he makes bad decisions and really bad decisions. When they're bad, they're really bad. Yep. But he's only 21, so he's young. He's going to develop more. But Craig, I can't say this enough, and people need to hear this. It's who Daboll wanted. That's all that matters. It's who he wanted.
Look, here, answer me this.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We all admit the Giants had a terrible, disgusting draft 2002, 2003.
So I'm not going to mention the dude's name, but I think most people probably know what I'm talking about. The biggest Giants hater on Twitter actually acknowledged that they had a really, really good draft. His initials are CF on Twitter. And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to give him the pub because he's the biggest Giants hater that's out there, CF. And he actually said the Giants killed the draft, nailed the draft. So if that dude is saying it, it was a good draft. Because all he puts out is Giants hate. That's all he puts out.
And we all admit that the Giants draft in 2002 and 2003 were terrible. And by the way, look it up. Just Google it. Shane admitted that his draft process was not good when he got here.
Yeah.
He's doing it different.
I mean, listen. Les Snead and with the Rams didn't have his drafts were not good the first few years. He struggled the first year.
2022, my bad.
Yeah. Guys are going to do it. And again, your first year, you're a rookie GM. You're going to make mistakes. You didn't have your entire staff that first year. You still had guys from the old staff. He fired everybody from the previous regime, minus a couple guys, right, who you can't get rid of. And then now he's got all his guys. He's going to get better. Like, what's the problem with acknowledging that somebody makes some mistakes? They correct. How many years did we complain about our GMs not pivoting, not making moves, not correcting their mistakes? Right? How many years?
We finally went for it.
Right. And we have now guys that have corrected mistakes. They've gotten better over the years. Like, is that not what you want?
And so by the way, Howie Roseman was not a good GM for the first 4 years.
No, none of them were. And here's the thing. When you look back at that 22 draft, a lot of the picks the Giants were excited about, especially Neal and Thibodeau. That was well regarded. It just didn't develop. Guys didn't do what they did. Some of that's coaching. Some of that's on the players, right? So it was really the 23 that was really bad. That was the worst one, without a doubt. Without a doubt, was the worst one on paper when you look at it. However, let's look at the last two instead of going back to ones that weren't bad. He's getting better every single year. Exactly, Cold. Exactly. You own the mistakes.
Chip Kelly was bad, but then when Howie took over, he wasn't good in the beginning either. They were that's why they sucked back then. It took both of them. It took, first of all, them to realize that Chip Kelly was a problem and fire Chip Kelly. Keep Howie, because Howie was on the hot seat to get fired. They keep Howie. Takes Howie 4 years to turn it around. They weren't great, and then he filled up that offense and defensive line, and off they went. And trust me, I still don't love Shane. He wasted millions of dollars for 3 straight years on the worst free agents I can ever possibly imagine. But I got to give him credit the last 2 years of draft picks, and this year in free agency, it seems like he gets it.
Well, he had money. Let's not forget that fact that people don't want to. It was going to take more than 1 or 2 years to get out from under what Gettleman left us with.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that's you though. You're okay with that. I don't want to flip flop. I didn't like him, and I kept bit my tongue with it, like giving him chance. The money he spent was like he wasted way too much money on.
I'm just saying, I've been on the Shane train since he came in. Like I've been a staunch Shane guy and said he knows what he's doing. Give him time.
Yep.
This is what he's dealing with. The roster was bad, so he had to every pick had to be need because the Giants had a ton of needs. Right.
Well, so the last 2 years
he's learning. Right. So
last 2 years he's redeemed himself. Like he looks like now, like the draft process has worked out, and he's getting guys, whether it's different scouts or he's getting aggressive with his player personnel department. Whoever, like, you can hate on if it's one of the Mara boys or whoever it is, like the player personnel and all the work that Brown's doing, right? I mean, they're figuring it out because now you got Shane and Brown got their process figured out, and the player personnel now. This is the first year we've had legit free agents. I mean, we've had 1 or 2 here and there, but I mean, you did a Debo and Holland. Yeah. I mean, like, that's stellar. So they're getting better.
They're going to have even more. They should have a good amount of money next year too in free agency. So they should get better and better every year. Like I said, it's now let's get some wins. I get it.
This team still, like what Grangier was saying a couple minutes ago, this team can win 7 games or 8 games. It may not get you to the playoffs. But again, you got to win 7 or 8 games before you win 10 or 11. You get into the playoffs, anything can happen. Again, he wasted a lot of money. Yeah, I was not happy. I mean, but a fan spoke up against it. He knows better. Listen, the guy definitely was learning as he went, assistant GM to GM. It's a big time job. He made a ton of mistakes. It's killed us. We can go on and on and on about those mistakes. What I can say is that the drafts back-to-back years have been fantastic, and he finally knows how to sign for whatever reason, whether it's him or his player personnel people are doing a better job with free agents. So as much as if you had to make me choose, I take Dable over Shane. And now I'm like, well, they just earned themselves another year. So I don't want to be, I mean, look, yeah, we can be cautiously optimistic. They still have to win games, but at least now the talent's better. The roster's better. Bowen's got to do his job. Dable's got to do his job. Russ has got to do his job. This team goes nowhere if Russ bombs.
Right.
And no, you can't go learn on another team. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You get a young GM.
And he admitted, like, the first year's success kind of made him go in a certain way because of, what happened that year.
He 100% said that. I had to blow up my plan because we won in 22.
And you also don't expect your quarterback to regress the way he did from 22 to 23. Let's be fair. Let's be realistic. Nobody expected that. But I think we need to stop talking about 22 and 23 and focus on 24.
I got one question before we crush at the end of the show. And then I'll see what these guys say.
Okay.
So the team is one of the top 3 youngest teams in the NFL.
Yes.
this team may win, let's say, between 6 on the low side, 8 on the high side. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah. I am.
Okay. What does this team need to do if 6 is the floor and 8 is the ceiling, or if you're optimistic, as Grangieri was saying, 9? What do they have to do to get to 9? What has to be done during the game? Like what physically needs to be done to win 8 or 9 games?
Offense has got to play well. They got to score points. Like it really comes down to the offense. I think the defense will be fine. They'll be good and they'll be better this year, but the offense has got to produce. They got to put up points. Russ has got to hit the open guys. Guys are going to be open. I'm going to say it all the time. They gotta do it. They got to do it. And listen, I'm going to backtrack just for a second. I know like one of the big complaints about Shane is that he lets guys go for nothing, but let's not also forget that there also is the comp pick formula that factors into what he's doing. And Shane has been really good with trades as well. So that comp pick, we got that extra third is why we end up getting Dart, because McKinney went, we didn't trade him away. And it takes 2 to tango, by the way, right? But we got that comp pick. People forget, and Mark, this isn't a shot at you because we know you're cool. There's a lot of people say this. They forget about the comp pick formula. The Patriots did it for years with the comp pick and let guys go and let them walk. We ended up with our quarterback, whether you like him or not. We ended up with the quarterback because we had that extra third round pick from letting McKinney go. So it's okay. Like you can't. There's not 30 other teams or 31 other teams that trade away guys all the time on contract years. It just doesn't happen all the time. So, but I think again, getting back to your question, Craig. The offense has got to put up points and they got to stay on the field. That's really what it is. They got to have long drives and they got to score points. Russ is going to hit the open guys because there's going to be guys open. That's what I'm there. And I need Slayton to step up and catch those deep balls more, get open more. That's the other thing that I would say there.
Okay. And I'm going to throw in the fact, just for the other side of the coin, I think the defense has got to get off the field in 3 downs, give the offense more opportunity and better field position. So, that great defense we think we're going to have to be that nasty defense definitely has to get some 3 and outs to get us some field position. And we have to stay healthy because I know that's easier said than done, but this team folds when Andrew Thomas goes down every other year. So, like next year's draft, if Andrew Thomas does not make it through this year healthy, your first round pick next year is a left tackle.
Yeah. So
just, throwing another, I'm not saying one's more important or one comes before the other, but you got to stay healthy, especially Andrew Thomas got to stay healthy. And then the defense has got to get off the field on 3rd down, give the offense a good field position. You can't always be starting deep in your own end zone. So I like to see that. You guys, what you guys are saying here? Came out at halftime, made adjustments and won. Yes, Mark, I do remember that. We got Burns from the Leonard trade. Exactly. Big Blue 56. Yep. They did a good job there with comp picks and making those trades. Our D should even be better. We can finally rush 4. Yeah, I'm excited for that myself, Cole, because we haven't been able to do that in quite some time. Offense has to let the defense rest. Yeah, without a doubt. We got to sustain drives. So, all right, nygiantsrush.com, guys. Check out the draft spotlights are up there if you want to read those.
Comment sections was great tonight. We loved
you guys were popping.
Yeah,
and
all good stuff in the comments.
Stretch wins the Friday bobblehead, and Lolo wins the Seahorn poster. We'll get them out to them, and we'll tweet them up here in a bit. Trying to get some more interviews. Not easy to get. We're working on the new guys before they know any better, before the Giants shut me down. I'm thinking about getting credentials just to see if I can get interviews because I'm getting tired of getting turned down.
Just do it.
Yep, I know. I just know I won't use them during the game. And if I don't use them during the game, they might yank them from me anyway. And I don't want to go sit up there in the booth. Like I just have no desire. I'm paying for seats down below, So maybe I'll send you.
Sure. Pay for my flight, pay for me there, Rush. Yeah, there we go.
Here we go. Let's go. All right. So we'll be back on Monday. There is no Wednesday show because the draft is over, and we're not going to talk about drafting any new players anytime soon. Because
we're moving forward. Everything's forward thinking right now.
Everything,
we're living in the past. It's forward thinking.
Everything is forward thinking. We're going to have 1,000-yard rusher. We're going to have a 1,400-yard wide receiver. We're going to have 2 guys with 10 sacks or more, and we're going to have a safety with I'm going to go 6 interceptions.
6 interceptions. Okay.
6 interceptions, 1,000-yard rusher, 2 guys with 10 or more sacks.
We're going to be top 5 as a team defense in sacks.
You're going to go top 5, dude?
Yeah. Again, after 6 or 7 games last year, we were leading the league in sacks before all the injuries. So, yep, we're going to lead the
Colt says, give me and Joker a show. The problem with that, Colt, is you're not good enough to show up for us on the draft show, and you want me to give you your own show? Come on.
I mean, he was there just in the comments. He didn't go on video.
By the way, I was really impressed that Colt that you showed up. We thanked you. I will thank you again because
he was there Friday too.
Yeah, it's never a show without Colt. So, and a lot. All right, listen, dude. All right, again, this is what I don't understand about people. Okay, this is what I'm going to lead you with. And a linebacker with over 120 tackles. The last time we had a linebacker that had back-to-back 100 tackle seasons was 18 years ago, Grandier, right? 18 years ago it was Antonio Pierce. Micah McFadden had 100 tackles back-to-back years. First time it's done in 18 years. And the dude sometimes shoots the gaps too fast and gets washed out. He's going to continue to get better. 120 tackles. I think he's only like 10 tackles away. I mean, Abdul Carter, Rookie of the Year. I like that, K-Mac. I like that at all. All right, Cole, wait, I know why you're still, maybe I don't remember why. Oh, you're mad at me because I stuck him with that other guy who he didn't like, but I apologized. I mean, I said I was sorry. I said I wouldn't do it again. I tried to bring you in and put you on Thursday.
Listen,
if a linebacker has 120 tackles in today's NFL, we aren't very good. I don't know about that. I mean, the defensive line sucked so bad last year that Okereke and McFadden couldn't get out of their own way. You still got to let those guys be clean so they can scrape. All right, you guys are still the best, regardless of how crazy you are. Craig the historian. That is me, Mark Bay. Somebody's got to tell the truth around here, Mark. You let these guys run, Mark. You give them an inch and they'll run with it.
It's good to be the king.
That was very well done, Zach. Very well done.
Listen,
we will see you guys. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was to say real quick, as my intro said, there were fireworks tonight, my man. I brought the fireworks tonight. Let's be real. The new shirt, by the way, this is going to become a staple. I might get a second one. I might order another Joker shirt somewhere, but I like it. I got all the Giant stuff in the background, so I think I'm going to stick with Joker on the show, right? Like, it makes sense. Right?
That means I'm going to wear the Dart jersey every Monday until he starts.
Right? And listen, if anybody wants to gift me a Joker shirt, by all means, go for it.
What do you call it? Listen, we love you guys. You guys are the best. Appreciate it. You guys are always great support. Thanks for hanging with us on Thursday. Thanks for hanging us with on Friday. We're going to try to put some kind of video out because Spartan's got some video. I'll try to put that together for you guys. I say it all the time. If you have an opportunity to tell a friend about the YouTube channel, it helps us. So if you can, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us do some stuff because, like I said, I have plans, but it's not easy to get these numbers that YouTube wants. So we could use a little help. If you could let a friend know about the YouTube channel, tell them what we do. That'll go a long way. I'm working on some interviews. I've been trying to get Antrell Roll for quite some time. I made an inroad a couple weeks ago, so I'm still trying to get that. McFadden said he's going to get me Bobby Okereke, so we're probably, maybe closer to getting Bobby O on too.
Sweet.
Craig isn't taking the Dart jersey off till he starts. There you go. I'm wearing it forever. It's not even my jersey, by the way, but
it's good to be the king.
Damn right. We'll see you guys next Monday. Peace out. We'll talk to you guys during the week. We'll listen to you whine and complain and be optimistic about
Positivity.
2025 because we're a better team than we were last week. Peace out.
Liar!
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.